Well, let's start it off for week 8 of Tuesday Night Hefferon Park, and we'll start it off with a bang. It was a cracker, an absolute freaking cracker of a night's racing. I could not pick the winner. 8 laps out, I had no idea whether A grade was going to get up, and I said that right to your face, John. I don't know who's going to win tonight.
And that's unusual for you, Crafty, because usually you know everything. And so I went bold on the call about 3 or 2 to go when you couldn't make your mind up that A grade were going to get up and they were going to catch them at the toilet block on the last lap. And you know what? That's exactly what they did.
Pretty
Is
darn.
that because with 8 laps to go, you didn't think anyone was going to finish? So many riders were just going out the back. You thought it's just a battle of survival.
Yeah, look, I will back myself. I did get a couple of things right. First off, I said that B grade would catch C grade at 4.5 laps to go. And I'm going to put it out. I'm going to say it wasn't at 8 to go I was making these calls. It was probably closer to 11 to go or something along those lines when I was doing the math. And I knew that was going to happen. And then even at 11 laps to go, I was still going, I don't know who's going to win this, whether it's going to be B or A grade. Now, I'm going to piss in my own pocket here because I said at 2 to go that A grade would be on the podium, but not on the top step. And John, you heard it. You heard me say that.
I did.
So for the viewers, we better say what actually happened. Hugh Harvey won again, Alexis.
Oh,
it is just unbelievable. And not only did he win, I mean, it was a convincing win. It was a win that, you look at the video and think, wow, there's no doubt in that. It wasn't down to a tyre width. He just came away and just blew the doors off everyone. And 3rd week in a row, it's incredible.
Yeah, when I say he won again, we've got to clarify that and make it very clear. This is his first victory at Hefferon. The other 2 were grade wins, John.
That's correct. But as I said after the race to you, Crafty, I've seen every race, I think, on a Tuesday night for the last 38 years. And in my memory, I just can't think of anyone that's 3 weeks into their racing program at Hefferon on a Tuesday night, turned up in C grade, won C grade with a 6th place overall, got promoted to B grade the following week, won B grade with 4th overall, and then in their 3rd week, won overall from B grade, denying the A graders.
Okay, so I don't know Hugh. I've got a new nickname for him, by the way.
Yeah,
Huge Harvey. Huge Harvey. He's got some legs on him. Look, I reckon he's not going to go up hills very fast. And I don't know him that well. Everybody keeps on coming up with these weird ages. How old is Hugh Harvey? Alexis, do you know?
Look, I'm now at that age where he could be 14, he could be 25. I've got no idea. He's just a young person to me. Like, he's just another young guy.
John's saying...
I think he turns 18 in January.
So he can't even drink piss.
No, he's not going to be buying beers before Christmas.
There you go. So I suppose the question then becomes, how much longer do we see Hugh Harvey riding in B grade before he steps up to A? Do you think he'll last out the year in B grade?
I think he'll stay in B grade for the next 3 or 4 races. I think we've got 3 handicaps left, and review it in the in the early part of the new year. Clearly, he's got a power sprint. There's no question about that. But I think even by his coach's admission to me after the race, he can do with a little bit more time learning racecraft and skills.
Okay, so just to sum up the race, we'll start off with standard handicaps. They actually delayed A grade by another 10 seconds this week, so it was really tough for them to get up. As I said at the start, B grade were flying. They got up to C grade with 4.5 laps remaining, and they didn't settle there. They just kept on going. Arlen Vazarian and Ben Glastonbury and one other rider, Hugh Harvey. It was Hugh Harvey. The 3 of them went in a bit of a breakaway on the last lap. A grade caught after the bell, and then it all unfolded from there, John.
It did. There was just one step prior to that, and that was B grade imploding. B grade, we had something like 36 starters. It was the biggest bunch by far. And I think at that stage of the race, with about 5 to go, I think there was only 12 riders left in B grade.
And how many C graders finished?
5 out of 32. So
And
that westerly wind on Tuesday night really created havoc for everybody.
it messes with the minds and it messes with the bodies as well. Alexis, did you finish?
Of course not. It was a tough night in the wind. So that meant no chance at all. And it was one of those rounds where it was determined down the straight, where you were positioned down the straight, and where, if you're able to hide behind someone, probably dictated whether or not you finished the race. And I would say that's why so many C graders, we got blasted out the back when we got caught by B, because we just weren't strong enough to just sit up there and stay close and out of the wind.
C grade was doing okay for a while. They were working the echelon, but they never looked fast enough. And then they looked resigned that they were going to get caught. And when they got caught, that's when the shit went down.
Absolutely. It was probably, look, week 8, and we probably have had enough riders there who have been turned out week in, week out, that are now all starting to contribute. So the pace will come, but it's actually just great to see so many riders continuing. Rupert Guinness, I think he's now looking pretty comfortable. He's starting to do some turns. I'd particularly call out Bree from Manly, and also Lily Fasson from Cheeky Monkey, who actually did a lot of mountain of work and helped out everyone. So it was a large rolling mountain, a large group rolling around, but yeah, just didn't have the pace.
Lucas was the first C grader home. Was he pulling turns as well?
Lucas has now discovered what it's like to race a handicap. You roll turns from the start,
Great.
and it gets everyone working. So well done to Lucas. Special call out for him to do so well.
And not only that, it builds confidence too. You start rolling a few turns and you think, hey, I can do this. This is not so bad. And it just rolls on from there.
I often tell riders, pulling turns at the early, it turns on your racing brain. When you sit back and try and conserve, and then suddenly the race comes to you, and when it's time to start racing, you've been lulled into this sense of comfort, and you actually never engage in the race. Not all. It doesn't. It works for some. It works for some. It doesn't work for everybody. And that's
one of the most sensible things I think you've ever said. That is so true. It's about being in the race mentally, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. The O train, we've got Ollie coming into the Bell lap right now. There's Dan Bonello. It's Edwin Britz out in front at the moment. In a second, you'll see the C graders and those 3 breakaway riders first, then the B graders and C graders as Michael Cupid comes around. Was that Michael Cupid, John?
Yes, yep. That certainly was.
Okay, so we've got 3 B graders away at this stage, and I think it's Ben Glastonbury,
Alan Vazari,
and Alan Vazarian. The rest of them are doing. The rest of B grade are doing a great job to mow them down as well.
Yeah, those B graders, they'll race against each other. No question about that.
So, John, your audio is breaking up because my computer's buffering. But right now, Edwin Britz is still away. And is that Dan Bonello or is it Michael Cupid?
That's Michael Cupid now.
Okay, look at the calf muscles.
Yeah. Thanks. Sorry about that. So into the squircle, we'll just let this play out. And Bonello swings over, and Ollie's got to shut this down. So he's in the wind, he's burning a lot of cookies at this stage. Now, at this point in time, Edwin looks over his shoulder, realizes that the A graders, including Ollie, are coming. And Edwin realizes as well, my chance of winning this is over. It is completely over. I've burnt so much energy, so I might as well make an impact on this race and tow Ollie around the outside. You understand what I mean by that, John?
I certainly do. And just think for a minute that when they came into the straight, Edwin Britz was already on his own. So this is now 2/3 of the straight. He is still on the front, pushing as many watts as he possibly can to cart Ollie and the other A graders through the B grade group.
It was a Jake Kaufman style ride. Just didn't have the
He's
legs
on
to
a
be able to half a lap.
sacrifice ride now because he knows he's burnt too much to win this. So he's fighting his way through on the right as we see Josh there, and he's down to, and they've caught the three. There's your three breakaway riders, and Hugh Harvey somehow has to get a wheel. I'm not sure where he's going or how he's going to get in there, but he's jumped in somewhere. So Alexis, they're coming up to the final pimple, and Edwin's putting in a massive effort.
That's it. I mean, that's what it's now, 3/4 of the way round, and he is just full gas. It's I don't know. I can't last 50 meters, so I'm pretty amazed.
Well, the speed he actually goes into the straight, it doesn't get that much faster from there. So there's no real clear point where the sprint starts. Ollie's still on the wheel, waiting for his opportunity to get there. And right now, on Ollie's wheel is Jesse Coyle. So they come around, nearly clip the pedal on the inside. And as I said, you can't tell where the sprint has started because it's just going. But the shadows...
I'll tell you where it started. It started a lap ago.
A fair call. It was. You can see the shadows there. So everybody's lined up, ready to go, Alexis.
So Ollie Penny wants to win, right? There's no doubt about that. What is he thinking at this stage? Is he thinking, I'm glad I'm in second wheel, or would he have preferred to have been third or fourth wheel?
I'll tell you what he was thinking.
Okay, we'll come back to Alexis' question in a second because you may notice John Sunde is no longer here. We ran out of time on our Zoom channel and had to reschedule another video. And it's not that we take so long, Alexis. It's more John Sunde's stories take so long.
Exactly. I mean, it's one of those situations where reviewing one lap of the race takes John longer than it does to run the entire race on a Tuesday night. But, here we are.
Yeah, look, he's got a dinner duty. Your question was, where would Ollie want to be at this stage? And the answer is not second wheel. I would think he'd want to be third or fourth. Third, probably preferable. But he is where he is. He's going to lead it out, and let's start it and see if we've got the same quality. And Alexis coming up, the wind is coming from the right, so Ollie wants to go on the left-hand side. He asks Edwin to move to the side. He does, and now he starts sprinting for home.
And this is a view I'm used to seeing because normally I'm here and the rest of the race is further up that I can't see. So at this stage, though, full gas, he's thinking, I've got it.
Yeah, he's thinking he's going to prove Crafty wrong until Hugh Harvey launches like a bullet around the side.
Absolutely. Well, timing by Harvey there is very impressive because he comes past him flying.
Yeah, look, I'll just play that little bit again. I know we're coming up to the finish, but I want people to see how much faster Hugh Harvey was over the last few meters. Right now, Jesse Coyle's on the left, and boom, bang, he opens 10 meters straight away. That is just unbelievable.
Look, the only thing I could say, and obviously I say this with no experience at all on actually how to sprint, is that it was a very long sprint. Like they had opened up from the corner. So, but Hugh, he flew by.
Yeah, he flew by. And that's a good segue because we're going to go into John Collivis. He was flying the drones. So we're going to have a look at that.
The budget is just limitless at Hefferon Tuesday night.
I mean, this podcast has got all the bells and whistles. Okay, so we're got the eye in the sky. And right now, Alexis, you can see where Hugh Harvey is. He's in fifth wheel as we hit play here. And Edward.
So you've got Edwin, Ollie, I think who's in third? Coyle. Oh, that must be Jesse. No, that must be Bonello there in third. Where's
you're right.
Come from? Oh, he's the fourth. Yeah, okay. Cupid goes on the right, and then someone with either bigger calves than him flies down the middle there.
Huge
and
Harvey.
It's just a flat out drag race.
Look, right now, this is where he's just turning it on. You will note, and I want you to watch Ollie, because right now there's enough room for Jesse to get through on the grass side, but just watch this there. He stops pedaling for a second, Alexis. Do you know anything about that?
Is that hope just evaporating out of him. Like the idea of victory just coming out of his grasp is just he's gone.
I'm not really sure. Look, he's fully stopped. In fact, the way he's pedaling now, it's not actually putting any power in the bike. So, you know what I'm
I'd say he's
thinking?
throwing a chain.
Yeah,
he's lost his chain.
yeah, I think he's actually lost a chain, and he inadvertently put Jesse Call into the grass there, and consequently Jesse ends up second. So, but look, taking nothing away from it, Hugh Harvey was the fastest on the day.
That's right, and you can see the gap there at the finishing line.
Yeah,
Daylight.
it's crazy. Right, so I guess without John here, well, we've had a chat with John. John had already alluded who he reckoned was Rider of the Week. Who do you reckon Rider of the Week is?
Look, we've spoken about him throughout this episode, so I will actually say someone else. I'm going to go Josh Evans as Rider of the Week. He is riding phenomenal through there. When he comes through C grade, he is flying. So he's obviously taking after his father, and he's just tearing the field apart at the moment. And he's riding really well. And it's also a sign of how well I think B grade is going.
Well, yeah, and I think B grade have got a good shot at it in the coming weeks as well. Look, you mentioned Lucas earlier in C grade. Now that he's pulling turns in C grade, that was a good win. So congratulations, Lucas. But look, it doesn't matter who you name. The end result is the Rider of the Week has to be Hugh Harvey for the third week in the row. You can't say anyone else has achieved that. He was the best rider of the week. He won the race, and he did it in impressive fashion.
Exactly. I mean, he was there in the breakaway on the last lap, so he was working the whole race.
Yeah,
so
massive
monumental.
point there. Massive point. Those three B graders, Benny Glastonbury, Arlen Vazarian, and Hugh Harvey, they went for it. That could have won the day without worrying about the A graders, but it didn't, and he still had the reserves to go again.
Exactly. I mean, normally the parachute just goes out. As soon as you've done that, you've had a crack, you get caught, bang, boom, out the back they go. But he's found another gear and kicked along.
Yeah, I hope John is enjoying his dinner. He's out to dinner now. He couldn't hang around to wrap this up, but I'll wrap it up with see you next Tuesday, Hefferon Park.